けてく夜明けにこれが最後の願いね Let's go!
So, I'm here with kind of an author update. I am currently working on formatting my book on Vellum. I had the first chapter is really short, so I had the first chapter already formatted on Vellum. I'm currently working on chapter 2, and I have the Word document open, and I am changing everything that I add or anything that I correct on Vellum onto my Word document. And I added a few paragraphs here right about now, and I'm just going to be working on this for the rest of the day. I got my emotional support books next to me so that I can prioritize taking breaks. And at some point, I'll probably take a longer break and then just watch Wicked. So yeah. Let me show you. That's chapter 1. And then I have chapter 2 there, getting edited. And then I have the Word document open as well. And then my emotional support books over here. One is my book club read, which is Death of the Author. And the other one is Legendborn, which is another book club read, but not my book club. It is Crystal Lang's book club. We are reading Legendborn and Bloodmark. I read Legendborn a few years back, and I remember really liking the magic. It's just a lot of the characters kind of frustrated me, so I didn't continue the series. But now that I'm picking up the series again, I'm liking it. But there's a few, like I said, once again, there's a few characters that are just I don't vibe with, but the magic and the creatures are really cool. So I'm remembering why I liked it, but I'm also remembering why I didn't like it. So I have mixed feelings about this book, and I've always had mixed feelings about this book, but it is what it is. I'm enjoying it the second time around more than I did the first time around, but I remember the first time around and thoroughly enjoying it for the magic and the creatures, but not so much the characters. Yeah. So I took 2 breaks today, one to talk to our friends, and I did 2 mega blocks for my Eevee collection. The rest my fiance had done. I had done 2 before, but the rest my fiance had done. So I did the Sylveon. These are the other ones. I did the Flareon a while back, but the rest my fiance did. I did another one, but I don't remember which one. And then the one I did today was the Leafeon. That was my first break of the day, and now I'm taking my second break. I am exhausted. Mentally exhausted. There's something about judging yourself and judging your work and condensing and reading stuff out loud. I also finished the Wicked soundtrack, so my brain was like, break time since we finished the Wicked soundtrack. I tried to listen to Chaperone, Roan, and I usually love Chaperone, but I was just so exhausted to the point where I'm like, I'll be back in about 10, 20, 30, maybe even an hour. I was going to say 10, 20 minutes, but I'm like, be realistic, like an hour. I'll be back to writing again and feeling up to it because I'm just exhausted. My last update that I had done, I had been working with a cover designer in December to do a cover. That didn't pan out. They had closed their commissions, and I had to look for another cover designer. And I did find another cover designer, and I have my cover already. We had worked on it for like a week or 2, going back and forth with the design and giving him information about my book, giving him information about my universe, my planets, my solar system, and kind of giving him notes on what to fix on the cover. And now I have a finished cover, so that kind of propelled me to do formatting now, which I was just gonna do another round of edits and then like finish writing what I have to write in the middle of my book as I'm doing my another round of edits. But then I realized that I can format and edit at the same time. So I have my Word document open and I have my Vellum open. And all day today I've been going back and forth fixing the thing in Vellum and then fixing the edit in my Microsoft Word document. So that's been tiring today. And just I know that this is part of being a writer, but it's always a lot. And time always flies, and I love going back into my books. But time goes by so quickly when you're editing, and the day just like passes you by. It's already like 6 p.m., I think. And I started around, what was it, 12 p.m.? I don't know, something like that. And I went on Instagram earlier, and the author for this book was giving out 30 review copies for the audiobook, and I do better with the audiobook, so I asked him if I could have one of the 30, and he did send me it. And I do really well with like reading the book and having the audiobook at the same time, so I'm gonna probably just read this, play a few video games for a minute, and then get back to it. So I started with my first chapter today. That was already done. I read through it again. Second chapter was done. I read through it again. Third chapter was pretty easy. It's not that much. Fourth chapter gave me a little bit difficulty. Fifth chapter gave me a little bit difficulty. Sixth I'm working on right now, and I'm kind of halfway through it. And seventh I just put it into Vellum to format. So 6 and 7 I put into Vellum to format, and now I'm actually editing 6, and then I'll be through 7. But 7 is pretty quick. Thea's chapters are pretty short, while Spike's chapters are the ones that give me the most difficulty. But like I said, I'm taking a break for right now, but I just wanted to show you guys. My papa, she's asleep. My papa, she's sleeping. Any chance he gets to get on that chair, he'll get on my chair.
Let's go!
So, since yesterday, I got a little bit further. Yesterday, I got 7 chapters done, but that was because I had a few shorter chapters at the beginning that I had to format, and that made me get through those formatting and the editing pretty quickly. Today I did chapters 8, 9, 10, and 11 for formatting, and those chapters did take me a little bit longer, and I inserted chapters 12 through 22 for the next time that I have to format my book, which will save me some time from having to copy and paste. So I think that's what I'm going to do every time that I'm done editing and formatting. I'm going to set myself up for the next day, so I have something to look forward to. My goal right now is to do like 2 to 5 chapters every day for the next 2 months when I can, if I can, and hopefully get it done by April and then have beta readers. Let me show you the progress so far. So, as you can see, all those chapters, click on them. It's already formatted over here. This is what it's gonna look, print edition. And then you could just keep going. So yeah. And then I have my resident good boy here. He's just a baby. I think he likes my writing chair a lot more than his beanbag now, because he's just knocked the fuck out on this writing chair now. From the last update, I was working on my universe map, and I have finished that, and I have finished the maps for all of the book. So like all the maps in the book and all the places that we visit. I have included them in the book already. There's one map that I have to change because there's one name that I have to change in general. But let me show you how they look. Let me see if I could turn this around. Turn the beat around. So that's the universe map. And I have it in print mode. So let me change it to iPad. So that's how the universe map looks so far. That's one map that I have to include later on during the book. This is another map that I'm including later on during the book. Another map I'm including later on during the book. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be including the maps in between chapters, and this might frustrate people, but I'm going to include the map where it best fits. And this isn't the best. I did these on Incarnate. So like this one is one of the maps, and I have another Beretta map on there as well. But one of the Beretta maps is going to go later on during the book. But this is the main one. And that's before chapter 6, because that's where we get introduced to this place. And then before chapter 11, we get introduced to Venus. And then before chapter 16, we get introduced to Flounce. And then before chapter 21, we get introduced to a different part of Flounce. Completely different area. So then this is a map for that. And yes, the castle is supposed to be upside down. And then this is another map that is supposed to go later on during the book. There's a lot going on in this one. I didn't want to split this one up like I've split all the other maps, because it's a very purposeful storytelling device where all 13 Coven members have their own little area in this world, and I didn't want to separate them. I wanted them all to be together in one area. So that's why I didn't split this up like I split everything else up. This does go on later on during the book as well. So I have this, and I haven't formatted anything beyond chapter 22. So this is later on. It is coming up where I'm going to put this before that chapter. But right now I'm on chapter 16 where I'm editing. I just finished. I went through chapter 15 and I was editing a bit. But right now I am on chapter 16 editing. And from there I have my Gamma 2 map here. Like I said, these aren't perfect representations, but these are the best I could do with Incarnate. And I think Incarnate really helped me get them to some kind of visualization and get them to some point of like looking cute. So I'm excited that like my dream is finally happening. So the maps are what I was working on the past couple of days, and it sucks because it feels like I wasted time, but I didn't waste time because this was stuff that I eventually had to do, and it's been stressing me out that it hasn't been done. And usually like I'm a perfectionist. If I don't have something done, then like my brain stresses out. And now that the maps are done, I'm less stressed, and now I could just hyper focus on editing the book. And I just finished editing chapter 15 again. I had already edited chapter 15 and formatted it, but I added more lines in there and a few more paragraphs into chapter 15, and now I'm on chapter 16, which is Ashley's chapter. And my problem with Ashley and Heather right now are that I don't include descriptions like I usually do. Same with Jenny. But I'm going to include more descriptions and descripting words into Ashley's chapters. Thea's chapters, I probably have to do that too. Celestia's chapters. I feel like Celestia and Spike are pretty well-rounded characters. And Ashley, Heather, and Thea are my characters that I have to work on a little bit more. But it's one of those things where I can't really tell the story without one of their voices. So I'm trying to perfect their voices as best as possible. And if it falls flat, it falls flat. But I think the story really, I know people always say like kill your darlings and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where the story can't be told without their voice. So I am including it. And I am hoping that I just can do them justice. And if some fall flat, but I'm trying to do them justice as best as possible before they fall flat, if that makes sense. So that's what I've been working on. I'm working on washing my clothes. I am working on getting my bag packed again and ready to go. I am, yeah, that's about it. Writing a book is really stressful, but it's also really rewarding. So my advice, if anybody ever wants to write a book, find time to take breaks and find ways to decompress after writing, but also find some time to write. I think I've regretted too much of not writing, and I don't think you ever want to regret not writing. So definitely write if you can. This has been a journey. It has been stressful, but the closer I get to finishing, the better I feel about everything in general. And being on chapter 16 of what possibly can be 70 chapters makes me feel a lot better because it feels like I'm closer even though I'm still pretty far away. Anyway, have a good day. I'll be back to check on y'all later.